There is a fish that scientists almost refused to publish photographs of. Not because it was fake, not because it was rare, but because looking at it made trained marine biologists physically uncomfortable. Deep-sea researchers at the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute have described a strange phenomenon that happens when new crew members see certain deep-sea specimens for the first time. They step back. They cover their mouths. Some of them look away entirely. You probably think you understand what a scary fish looks like. Rows of teeth, cold eyes, maybe a shark silhouette moving through blue water. That is not what this is. What lives in the deep ocean does not follow the rules your brain uses to recognize a predator. And that is exactly why it terrifies the part of your mind that evolved to keep you alive. Because the most terrifying fish ever discovered was not designed to scare you. It was designed for a world you were never meant to see. To understand why this fish is so disturbing, you first have to understand where it lives. Below 1,000 meters, sunlight is completely gone. Not dim, not blue. Gone. Marine biologists call this region the midnight zone. The water pressure is around 100 times what you feel at the surface. The temperature hovers just above freezing. And in this darkness, evolution stopped optimizing for beauty. It optimized for something else entirely. Survival at any cost. Most people assume deep-sea creatures look strange because they are primitive. That assumption is wrong. What researchers have found is the opposite. These animals are not ancient leftovers. They are some of the most specialized predators on Earth. Every part of their body is a solution to a problem you have never had to solve. How do you find food in total darkness? How do you eat prey larger than yourself? How do you survive when meals arrive once a month? Or once a year? Or never? The answer to those questions produced something your brain was never prepared for. In 2003, marine biologist Bruce Robison and his team at MBARI captured deep-sea footage that changed how scientists understood the midnight zone. They were expecting slow, sluggish animals. What they saw instead was a fish with a transparent skull. You could see its brain. You could see its eyes rotating inside its own head, tracking prey through the roof of its skull like green orbs floating in glass. The species is called Macropinna microstoma, the Barreleye fish. And when the footage was first shown at scientific conferences, the room went silent. But that is not the most terrifying fish. That is just the beginning. Because there is another creature, one that lives even deeper, that operates on a logic so alien that some researchers have said it feels less like an animal and more like a nightmare given biology. It is called the Black Sea Devil, Melanocetus johnsoni, a type of anglerfish. You have probably seen still images of it. What you have not seen is what it actually does in its natural environment. In 2014, the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute captured the first video footage of a living black sea devil in its native habitat, 600 meters below the surface. The fish appeared in the beam of the submersible's light. It did not move. It did not flee. It simply hung there in the water, jaws open, its lure glowing above its head like a small dead star. Marine biologist Bruce Robison, who has spent decades studying these creatures, described what he saw in a single sentence. He said the fish looked like it had never learned what fear was. And here is where the science becomes harder to explain. The black sea devil is not the largest fish in the deep ocean. It is not the fastest. It rarely grows longer than 18 centimeters. What makes it terrifying is not its size. It is what its body has been shaped into. Its jaw contains rows of translucent, needle-thin teeth angled inward like the bars of a cage. Once something enters that mouth, escape is anatomically impossible. Its stomach can expand to twice the size of its body. It can swallow prey larger than itself and digest it slowly over weeks. Its skin absorbs almost all light, making it nearly invisible in the black water. It does not chase. It does not hunt in the way sharks or barracudas hunt. It waits. But that is not the strange part. The strange part is what happens when a male black sea devil finds a female, because in this species, the males are almost microscopic. They have no functional stomach. They cannot feed themselves. Their entire existence is a search for one thing. When a male finds a female, he bites into her side, and then his body begins to dissolve. His eyes disappear. His fins reabsorb. His organs merge with hers. Within weeks, he is no longer a separate animal. He is a permanent growth on her body, connected to her bloodstream, providing sperm on demand for the rest of her life. Biologists call this sexual parasitism. The male becomes part of the female, not metaphorically. Literally, his DNA is still present, but his body no longer exists as an individual. He has been absorbed, and this is the animal that ocean researchers hesitate to describe in full detail during public lectures, not because it is grotesque, because it forces people to confront how narrow our definition of an animal actually is. But the deeper you go, the stranger it becomes. In 2014, a research expedition led by Alan Jameson from the University of Aberdeen deployed cameras into the Mariana Trench. Nearly 8,000 meters below the surface, what they filmed there was not supposed to exist. A fish, pale, slow, almost translucent. Its body seemed to move as if the pressure around it was not real. The species was later named Pseudolipares suirae, the Mariana snailfish. At the depth where it lives, the pressure is over 1,000 times atmospheric. A steel submarine would be crushed. And yet this fish glides through that water as if it were floating in a warm pond. Here is where the mystery deepens. Because scientists at first could not explain how any vertebrate could survive at that depth. The pressure should have destroyed the fish's cells. Its proteins should have collapsed. Its bones should have shattered. What researchers found instead was a chemical called trimethylamine N-oxide. In shallow water fish, this compound exists in small amounts. In the Mariana snailfish, it saturates every cell. It acts like a molecular scaffold, holding the fish's proteins in shape against pressure that should annihilate them. The fish does not resist the deep ocean. It has become part of it. And this is what marine biologists mean when they say the deep sea is not just another environment. It is another world. The animals there are not modified versions of the fish, you know. They are something else. They have been shaped by forces so extreme that their biology no longer maps cleanly onto anything else on Earth. Most people assume the deepest parts of the ocean are empty, barren, lifeless. What researchers have found is the opposite. Life exists at every depth that has been sampled, even at the bottom of the Challenger Deep, the deepest known point on the planet. There are living creatures. Some of them have never been named. Some of them have only been seen once. Some of them may never be seen again. Here is where it gets interesting. If you took the Black Sea Devil, the Barreleye, and the Mariana snailfish and placed them side by side, you would notice something strange. They do not look related. They do not share a common ancestor in any recent evolutionary sense, and yet they share features. Reduced eyes or hyper-specialized ones, slow metabolisms, bodies that seem to defy their own physics. This is called convergent evolution. It means that when environments become extreme enough, unrelated species arrive at similar solutions independently. The deep ocean is doing this at a scale that no other habitat on Earth can match, which means the terrifying part is not any single fish. The terrifying part is what the pattern reveals. It reveals that when you strip away sunlight, warmth, seasons, and stability, life does not simply survive. It reshapes itself. It abandons what you would call normal. It becomes something your ancestors never encountered. Because your ancestors never went there. Your brain evolved on savannas and in forests and along coastlines. It knows how to recognize a lion in tall grass. It does not know what to do with a fish that has no eyes, glows in the dark, and swallows things larger than itself. That is why looking at a black sea devil makes people flinch. It is not ugly. It is unfamiliar in a way your nervous system cannot categorize. And there is one more layer to this. Because in 2020, marine biologist Karen Osborne at the Smithsonian discovered something about deep-sea anglerfish that no one had predicted. Their skin is not just dark. It is one of the darkest known materials in the universe. It absorbs over 99.5% of the light that hits it. It is comparable to Vantablack, the engineered pigment used in physics research, except the anglerfish evolved it on its own, in the dark, over millions of years, for a purpose humans cannot fully verify. Camouflage against what? Nothing hunts anglerfish at that depth. Nothing hunts anything in a coordinated way down there. So why did evolution build a fish that cannot be seen, in a place where nothing can see? The deeper question is whether the deep ocean is hiding things we have not detected yet, predators we have not filmed, behaviors we have not observed. Every year, new expeditions bring back footage of animals that were not in any textbook the year before. The Census of Marine Life estimates that we have identified only a fraction of the species living below 1,000 meters. The rest are still down there, waiting. And when you watch the footage of a black sea devil hanging motionless in the beam of a submersible, its lure glowing, its jaw slightly open, its eyes fixed on the camera, you begin to understand something that scientists rarely say out loud. The most terrifying thing about the deep ocean is not what has been discovered. It is what has not been. You are looking at a fish that lived its entire life in absolute darkness. It has never seen the sun. It has never felt warmth. It has never encountered a human before this moment. And in the second before the submersible turns away, you notice something in the way it holds its body in the water. It is not afraid. It is not curious. It is patient, as if it has all the time in the world, as if the world above the water is the strange place, as if the surface, with its light and its air and its noise, is the aberration. And in a way, it is right, because 95% of the ocean has never been mapped in high resolution. More people have walked on the moon than have descended to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. The deep sea is the largest habitat on Earth by volume, and it is the least known place in the solar system that we can actually reach. The animals living there are not fringe cases. They are the majority. They outnumber every fish you have ever seen. They outnumber every land animal that has ever lived. You are the strange one, not them. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, subscribe for more. See you in the next video.